Have you ever heard a story so heartbreaking that it lingers in your heart long after it ends? What if I told you? A mother risked her life to save her child from a deadly snake, only to be betrayed by the very people she had lived among her whole life. This is not a tale from a storybook. This happened. A real story of devotion, of bravery, and of a tragedy that makes us question the meaning of gratitude. Why did the villagers turn their backs on her? Why would a mother's love be forgotten so quickly? And how did this story come to light in the first place? Stay with me till the very end, because what you're about to hear will break your heart and open your eyes. In a small village surrounded by green fields and whispering winds, there lived a gentle cow and her newborn calf. She was not just any cow. To the villagers, she was part of the rhythm of daily life. She gave milk, she wandered the fields, and she'd lived among them for years, quietly, peacefully, faithfully. She had never caused trouble. She had never asked for anything. She simply existed, giving every single day. To many, she was just an animal, but to those who noticed, she was a mother. She had emotions, instincts, love. And one day, she would prove that in the most unimaginable way. It was a warm afternoon. The sun hung low, and the air felt still. The calf was playing near a patch of tall grass, not far from where its mother stood, grazing peacefully. But something moved, something quiet, something deadly. A snake, venomous, silent, coiled beneath the grass. It had been watching, waiting. In just a second, the snake slithered toward the calf, its tongue flickering, its eyes locked on its innocent prey. But before anyone could scream, before any human could even notice what was happening, the mother moved. She leapt. Without a second of hesitation, she threw her own body between the snake and her calf. The snake struck, but it did not reach the baby. Its fangs sank into the mother instead. Once, twice. Still, she stood her ground. She kicked. She stomped, and with a final burst of strength, she crushed the snake beneath her hooves. It was over. The calf was safe, but the mother, she was not. She staggered. Her legs trembled. Her breath grew shallow. Villagers rushed to the scene. They saw the snake's crushed body. They saw the bite marks on the cow's leg. They saw her licking her calf gently, even as her body began to fail. They were stunned. Some whispered, "She saved her child." Others looked on in silence. She lay down in the grass, her calf nestled beside her, and for a moment there was peace. But what followed was anything but. The villagers knew the bite was venomous. The cow was weak. Her days were numbered. Instead of trying to help, instead of showing her kindness in her final moments, they made a decision, a cruel one, a cold one. They called the butcher. Yes, the same cow who had just saved a life was sentenced to death. She had given milk to their children. She had kept their fields full. She had lived among them for years. And yet, her fate was sealed in a single sentence. She's of no use now. She was sold for slaughter, as if her sacrifice meant nothing. Why? Why are animals treated as tools, not beings? Why do we turn our backs on loyalty, on love, so easily? She didn't ask to be a hero. She simply acted as a mother would. Isn't that worth something? Isn't that everything? The villagers went back to their routines. The calf, confused and alone, cried for its mother. No one listened. There was no ceremony, no moment of silence, only the distant echo of a bell and the sound of silence that follows betrayal. In a world where even heroes are forgotten, what does that say about us? This story is not just about a cow. It's about how we treat those who can't speak. It's about recognizing the souls behind silent eyes and asking ourselves if we're doing enough to respect the lives that walk among us. She may be gone, but her story remains. So the next time you pass by an animal, remember her. Remember her sacrifice, and ask yourself, would you have done the same? If this story moved you, share it. Let the world know her name. Let her act of love be remembered, not erased. Thank you for watching, and thank you for feeling, because that's where real change begins, in the heart.